Crystal Everdeen, and today I want to share with you everything that I've made this fall season, starting from like September, because that's the beginning of like busy season for me over on Instagram and TikTok, because that's when a lot of brands want to work with me for the holidays. So I mostly focus on Instagram and TikTok this time of year, and that's why I haven't necessarily been posting a lot on here on YouTube. So follow me on Instagram and TikTok, both are at Crystal Everdeen, for a fun time and lots of DIYs, because even though I haven't necessarily been posting here on YouTube a lot, I have been creating this entire time. Actually been creating a lot of different things, crochet projects, sewing projects, and other crafts, so let's get into them. So actually the very first project that I made this fall season, I actually do have a tutorial on it, and it is how to make this little crochet zero keychain. And the reason why this is the only one that had a tutorial is because it is the beginning of the busy season and I wasn't feeling overwhelmed and stuff, and I had plenty of time to plan for this ahead of time because it was the very first event that I was going to. It was a Handmade Crochet Christmas event for their 30th anniversary, and it was hosted by Disney, so I was like, I'm definitely gonna go, and I'm definitely gonna go prepared. So I went as Sally, and I also decided to crochet myself a little zero keychain so I could rock it at the event as well. And again, since I had enough time to actually make it and film a full-on tutorial, it's now up on my YouTube channel if you also want to recreate this little zero keychain. Yay! But for everything else, it was super last minute. I had like no time. I barely finished it in time for the event or for the brand deal, and I was stressed, but I did get a couple clips here and there of like me making it. And then I want to show you the final results, of course, just for, I don't know, inspiration on the things that you can make during the fall, even though these aren't necessarily tutorials, but again, hopefully you could kind of see the process and recreate it for yourself. So also during Halloween time, I made a Jack Skellington inspired outfit for Oogie Boogie Bash. I could not find pinstripe fabric anywhere, or at least like any that looked similar to the way Jack's pinstripes are. I don't know, they're just like, I just couldn't find any. So I decided to just use a solid black top that I already had and paint the pinstripes on it. It took so long, way longer than you would have expected for some reason. And of course, I did end up making this costume the night before the event. And what's wild is that I'm not even a procrastinator. Like, I know you're like, yeah, sure, whatever. Obviously you are a procrastinator if you keep doing everything last minute, but no. First of all, more often than not, I'm invited to these events like very last minute, like the night before or even the day of. I mean, okay, that's kind of rare, but it happens. And although most of the time I do have at least a few days or maybe a week beforehand, it takes time to gather the materials for the DIY. And then by the time I actually get everything that I need, then I barely have any time to actually make the DIY, and that's why it's super last minute, all right? I'm not a procrastinator. But anyway, I was really proud of my Jack Skellington costume, but wait, it's not even over yet, because I was invited to go back to Oogie Boogie Bash for a second night, and I wanted to stick with the Nightmare Before Christmas theme. One, because it's one of my favorite movies in general, and two, because this year was the 30th anniversary, and I mean, I had to go all out. For the 30th anniversary of Nightmare Before Christmas, absolutely. Therefore, I handmade this entire Sally costume patch for patch. Now this took me 2 days to complete, and yes, it was 2 days before the event. And yes, I was up until like 2 a.m. working on this. I remember my hands. My hands were so tired because I needed to hand sew most of the corset and like all the little details, and I mean, it was a lot. But honestly, I'm just so proud and happy with how it turned out, which is a common theme with everything that I make. I'm just like making everything up as I go along. So, I mean, I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I mess up a ton along the way and had to restart and improvise, and I'm afraid that I'm just doing all this work for nothing, but then in the end it all comes together and I'm so relieved, and I'm just like, wow, I can't believe I did that. So yes, I absolutely love my Sally outfit. I'm going to keep it for years and years and years and probably wear it every year for Halloween because it's that good. I flipping love it. And it was a smash at Oogie Boogie Bash. Even Jack Skellington himself saw me from the parade and loved my costume. He was just like, oh my gosh, you look so fabulous. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's Jack Skellington. It was a great moment. And of course, I also made some other DIY costumes in terms of like using pieces I already have in my closet and styling them so that they are costumes, as opposed to me like full-on DIYing the costume. I just wanted to mention it because they turned out really good as well. I went with a Hercules theme this year, and I put together an outfit for Megara, and I think it turned out really, really good, as well as for Hades, and I love that one as well. That was a lot of fun to shoot and to like edit the flames and stuff. It was so cool. But yeah, those are two other ones that I like kind of made, DIY'd, but not really. The rest of them though are like full-on DIY, thrift flip. Oh yeah, and then the last thing that I like fully DIY'd for Halloween time were these flared sleeves, the bolero sleeves, like just the sleeve kind of top, and it looked really, really cool. I love the flare. I love the stitch that I used. So that one I actually do have a full-on tutorial, and that was the last tutorial that I've shared this year. But if you want to learn how to make crochet bell sleeves like this, again, the tutorial is up on my channel. And that is the very last project that I made for the Halloween season. And then immediately, once November hit, it was more DIY, so let's get into it. Okay, so moving into November, I was invited to the world premiere of Disney's Wish. And I was so excited because it was my very first movie premiere in Hollywood. So I knew I needed to wear a gown. Like, I needed to look gorgeous for this movie premiere. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so amazing. And I originally wanted to go as King Magnifico because I think that his design is beautiful. I really love like all the stars and stuff. It's like, I don't know, I still want to make an outfit inspired by him or Queen Amaya, because both of their outfits are just so gorgeous to me. I don't know what it is. Again, I love them. But honestly, I just did not have the time to do it for the premiere, and then like finding the right fabric was taking too long, and I knew that this project was going to be out of my skill level anyway, so I decided to go with another character that I really liked, and that was Star. And yes, before you say anything, I always have to base my outfits off of a character or a theme. Otherwise, I just don't know what to wear. So I thrifted a dress, and I just want to take a second to thank the thrifting goddess, because in my mind, I was like, I would love to find some sort of gown that's like yellow and gold and glittery, but like, what are the odds of that? Like, I literally have 2 days to prepare to, you know, go to this event, and for me to find something like that specific in a thrift store, that's almost impossible. But obviously I'm going to try it. I'm going to try to go to multiple thrift stores to see if I can find it. Lo and behold, I found one. And not only did I find one, I found one at the first thrift store I went to. It's like, are you kidding me? Talk about meant to be. Talk about manifestation. But of course, I mean, it wasn't exactly perfect. It didn't fit me, and there were some design aspects that I didn't like, so I had to like thrift flip it, and that was totally okay because it was way better than, you know, having to buy the fabric and then make everything from scratch. So I was totally happy to DIY it, but I was still on that time crunch, and this is everything that I did. This is how I made my dress for the world premiere of Disney's Wish. Disclaimer, I am a novice when it comes to sewing, so I always have to start with a base. So I found this beautiful dress at the thrift store and saw its potential. It was a few sizes too big for me, and I wasn't a fan of the neckline and the straps they had going on. I don't know, it just was kind of weird on me. I didn't like it. It looks fine on camera, but in real life it was just like, did not look good. So I knew that those needed to go. First thing I did was cut those straps and trim the fabric so I can sew it to the bust. That way it's more of a strapless dress, or not more of a strapless dress, it's a strapless dress. And then I hand sewed everything, and it took forever. Then when I wanted to take it in so that it fit me more snug around my waist, I used my sewing machine. But that still took me forever because, like I said, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm still a novice when it comes to sewing, but, you know, I get by. Anyway, after that, it looked pretty good, but a little too DIY around the edges. So in order to hide that a little bit better, I grabbed some gold trimming that I had bought for another project that I never completed, and I used that to outline the bust and the waistline, and I think it made the dress look a lot more put together and was definitely worth the extra time and effort, even if it may have made us a little bit late to the premiere. But I mean, I still made it with some time to spare, and it was a good time. So thank you again to Disney for the invite. And surprisingly, that little DIY took so long because I was like, oh, I'm just gonna like make these little alterations to this dress, and it's gonna, you know, be a breeze and not take long at all, and I have plenty of time to prepare for the event. No, it took such a long time for some reason. I don't understand. I think I was probably having trouble with my sewing machine because, again, I do not know how to sew. I'm just making everything up as I go along here, trying to figure things out. That's probably why it took so long. But yeah, I was stressing out, trying to, you know, make it on time. I was like, okay, I don't have like any time to do anything. I'm literally DIYing this the day of the event. So yeah, just so you know, the high stakes there were. However, I did end up finishing it like an hour and a half before I had to leave. So you would think that, oh, okay, I would take this time to like relax and really prepare for this event and make sure that I get there early. No, we know what I decided to do? I decided to start a new project. I decided to crochet my own little star so I could clip it onto my purse and I could be like, you could really like complete the look. So not only do I have the glittery dress for Star, but I also have the little crochet star. And yes, did that make me a little late to the premiere? Yes. I don't know why I did that, but honestly, it's like, I'm mad at myself for doing that, but also at the same time, I'm grateful that I did that because now I have that little star in all of my videos and my photos at the premiere. And I also got a lot of compliments. I didn't think that a lot of people were going to recognize what it was, especially because I didn't actually finish it. I was not able to add eyes and a face onto the star because I was like completing it in the car. And I was like, this is good enough. And then I ran to the premiere and I was like, I'm here. But yeah, as soon as I checked into the event, people recognized my little crochet star and they're like, oh my god, that's so cute. And I got multiple compliments on the star and I was like, 100% worth it. That was 100% worth it. I'm so glad that I made this crochet star and I love it. Adorable. Also, in my defense, there was a lot more traffic than I was expecting. Like, I was already expecting a lot of traffic because it's LA and there's like tons of traffic all the time. However, there was multiple roads being blocked off for the event that I was not expecting to happen, and for us to go like 0.2 miles, it took like 20 minutes. So obviously that's, you know, contributed to us being late, not just the fact that I started a project late. It's because we still left kind of on time. All right, anyway, moving on to the next project. So then I partnered with Freefor to promote their 30 Days of Disney scheduling that they were going to have, where they played Disney movies throughout the entirety of November. And for that, they wanted me to recreate Anna's outfit from Frozen, because not only, you know, are they doing the 30 Days of Disney thing for the Disney 100 celebration, but it is the 10-year anniversary of Frozen. Can you believe that? 10 years. Frozen came out 10 years ago. That is wild. But yeah, so I decided to do Anna's coronation dress. So I went to the thrift store, got some fabric there. It took a very, very long time to create this because honestly, her coronation dress is kind of intricate, and I probably would have had an easier time doing her classic blue outfit, but I had like already done a DIY Disney bounding outfit like that years ago, and I was like, I'm going to challenge myself and do the green outfit. Oh my gosh, that was a lot of work, but honestly, it was actually kind of fun. It wasn't too stressful because for that one I did have a decent amount of time to finish it. So yeah, it was just a lot of fun to put together. It was, you know, a little bit challenging because of all of the different colors and the designs and stuff, but ultimately it was fun to do. So yeah, my favorite part of making this was probably just painting on the designs. That was a lot of fun. But overall I had a great time, and I want to thank Freefor for pushing me, you know, challenging me to take on this project. So thank you to Freefor. Yeah, so that was another one that I created. Also, you could check out that video of me creating Anna's coronation dress on the Freefor account, like the official Freefor account. I'm on it. I feel so special. And for the last project that I've made this year, it is my birthday dress. So every year for the past 2 years, 3 years, this is the third year. So for the past 2 years, and then this is the third year, I've made a snowflake dress for my birthday, and I celebrated at Disneyland. I mostly wanted to do this as a way to push myself to make something so that I could force myself to learn how to sew. So like every year I would at least have one project that I've created so that I can, you know, see my progression in my sewing skills. And honestly, I think that I kind of regressed last year. Like, I liked my first snowflake dress better than the one that I made last year, but I mean, it was still cute. Just not as cute. And at the time those were pretty much the only dresses that I've made in those 2 years because I really wasn't pushing myself to learn how to sew. But this year was a different story. I decided that I was going to make every single time I was invited to an event, I was going to make my outfit as if it was possible, obviously, because I don't always have enough time to make it. But if I did, I was going to try to make a special outfit for every single event. And I honestly think that it paid off in the long run because of this year, I actually made a full dress from scratch. Technically, the first dress that I made from scratch was for the Disney 100 celebration. So in January, Disney invited me out to Disneyland and Disney California Adventure for their Disney 100 celebration. And of course, that's so special, so I wanted to push myself and make a special dress for that event. Now, that one, oh my gosh, that was just luck, me putting that one together. But technically, that was the first dress that I did make, and this is technically the second dress that I've made completely from scratch. And they're both for Disney, or at least, for my trips to Disney. One's in January and one's in December for my birthday. Anyway, for the past 2 years, I essentially just sewed the snowflake fabric onto the dress and the skirt of something that I've thrifted. And this year, I decided to go for it, and I challenged myself to make a full dress out of this snowflake fabric that I got on sale for like $4, or at least it was like $4 a yard. So like $20, and 2 full days later, I finished my birthday dress, and it's glorious. Obviously, when you look too closely, you're going to see a lot of mistakes and loose threads and like patches everywhere, but I mean, overall, I think it looks snow good. Yeah, I love it. Honestly, I can't believe that I pulled it off, but I'm just so glad that I went for it because I didn't think that I was actually really improving in my sewing ability until I started putting these pieces together, and then I was like, wait a minute, I think I could actually do this. I think I can actually pull it off. But anyway, that is everything that I've made this fall season, and I do have a couple of other projects in mind for the end of the year. However, I don't think I'm going to be able to actually share tutorials on those projects just because life's been crazy. Like, not only is it the holidays, brands want to work with me and there's events, but then also like family, and then also we got a new house and there's lots of renovations going on, as well as we got a puppy and he's still like a crazy little puppy, so it's a lot. So sorry for the lack of videos, but hopefully you like videos like this where it doesn't have to be a full-on tutorial, but I just kind of like show you clips of what I made and the results. And yeah, let me know if you like videos like that, then I'll definitely post more. But if it needs to be like full-on tutorials in order for you to watch it, then I can't. I just don't have time for that right now. However, typically in January things calm down already, and then I'm able to consistently make crochet projects or like DIY projects and videos until September of that year, and then everything's good. But anywho, just wanted to update you, show off some of my DIY projects that I've been working on, and yeah, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your year. If I don't see you again until 2024, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, found it interesting, entertaining, or helpful, and if you did, please give it a big thumbs up before you go. And follow me on TikTok and Instagram. Those are both at Crystal Everdeen for the latest activity because I am most active on those 2 platforms. Thank you again for watching, and don't forget to click that red subscribe button if you have not already, so I can see you next time. Bye, and have a magical day.